Right now on 10 News this morning, a plane headed for San Diego crashes after takeoff and catches fire. 2 of the 4 people on board killed, while a 5th person had to go to the hospital. President Trump cancels a secret Taliban meeting. Why the president says he called off scheduled negotiations on U.S. soil. And dogs are hitting the waves this morning in Del Mar. We're live at the annual Surfathon. 10 News this morning starts right now.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Hope you are having a great Sunday. It's September 8th. It is just a little before 8 o'clock. I'm Mary McKenzie, and Megan Perry is here for Melissa this morning. So we'll get a check of the weather. If you haven't had a chance to step outside yet, Megan, oh, it feels so much better already.
It really does. It's quite a bit different. Last night was a little bit cooler. Tonight's going to be even cooler. Today is going to be the big change that we've all been waiting for. Temperatures drop about 4 to 11 degrees across the county compared to just yesterday. Right now we're in the mid-60s, downtown awfully close to 70 degrees, 80s out in the deserts. And as we look towards UCSD and La Jolla, the sun's starting to break through those marine layer clouds, 66 degrees here. Sunset this evening at 7:05. Our coast day planner will see clearing skies by mid to late morning. Most areas will clear out by mid-morning. Some areas may take till late morning, but otherwise we're going to see sunny skies this afternoon. Highs mostly in the mid-70s along our coastline, and goodbye to the 90s for our inland neighborhoods. Temperatures actually below normal this afternoon. Most of us will be topping off in the mid-80s, and I will pinpoint how long this cooler and drier air is going to linger into next week when I come back with your full forecast. Mary?
All right, thank you, Megan. We are following the developing story out of Henderson, Nevada, where a plane headed for Gillespie Field crashed, leaving 2 people dead. 2 others have serious injuries. The FAA says the single-engine Beechcraft Sierra was registered to SoCal Leasing in El Cajon. Crews working overnight just south of Henderson Executive Airport, where it appears the plane bounced off the road and caught fire with 4 people inside. Officials say the pilot apparently turned around because of an issue with an open door on the plane. Officials say first responders rushed to the crash, knowing it would be a tough night ahead for them.
It's always heavy on the hearts of firefighters when we have someone like this pass away. But you know, they're trained for this kind of incident, and they know how to do their job. They try to take emotion out of it.
And a 5th person who was not aboard the plane tried to help the victims of the crash and suffered smoke inhalation and went to the hospital. Dorian now lashing Nova Scotia, Canada, sending trees tumbling. And take a look at this crane. It was essentially crumpled into a soft piece of metal. It looks like it went onto an under construction building, and trees down there as well. The brunt of the storm came through yesterday afternoon as it moved into that region as a Category 2 hurricane. Dorian had diminished to a post-tropical storm Saturday evening when it made landfall, though, in Halifax. More than 348,000 customers in Nova Scotia lost power. Most of the outages caused by heavy rain and, of course, the high wind that took down the trees, tossed some boats around as well. New this morning, President Trump says he has pulled the plug on a secret meeting with Taliban leaders. He tweeted yesterday that officials were set to travel to the U.S. for peace talks to be held at Camp David today. But the president canceled that meeting after the Taliban took credit for a suicide bomb attack in Kabul that killed 12 people, including a U.S. soldier. Inviting Taliban leaders onto American soil was an unprecedented move and a significant development in America's longest-running war, just days, of course, from the anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks. Now, the body of that American soldier who was killed in the attack in Afghanistan earlier this week was flown back to the United States late last night. This is that ceremony there for Sergeant Ellis Barreto Ortiz. He was among the 12 killed when a car bomb exploded Thursday near the U.S. Embassy in Kabul. Senior U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, you see him there, they were at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware to pay tribute to Ortiz as his casket draped there in the American flag was unloaded from the plane. New this morning, Mark Sanford, the ex-South Carolina governor and congressman, is challenging President Trump for the 2020 Republican spot. He announced today that he is launching that challenge. Sanford said last week that he was focused on Hurricane Dorian and that he would wait until after the storm had passed to announce his decision on a White House bid. Sanford could face an uphill battle, though, of course. The Republican parties in Kansas and in Sanford's home state of South Carolina voted yesterday to cancel their GOP primaries. The search for the final victim in the deadly boat fire off Santa Cruz Island is expected to start back up early this week. It was suspended yesterday due to gusty winds and rough seas. Medical examiners say the victims of the Conception fire appear to have died from smoke inhalation and not from burns. On Labor Day, 34 scuba divers died when the boat caught fire and sank. Now check out the geyser here after a car crashes into a fire hydrant right in front of Lindbergh Field, creating a traffic disaster and a nightmare for travelers for much of the day yesterday, causing the huge geyser and a massive cleanup, of course, too. You can see firefighters trying to get the water turned off. It happened about 10:30 in the morning. A red Ford crashed into the hydrant right in front of Terminal 2, causing the airport to shut down all lanes for about 2 hours. And that wasn't the only thing shut down.
Absolutely no water.
No water for stores and restaurants. The restrooms were shut down as well. The airport said they did bring in porta potties for travelers, and the water was turned back on about 2:15, and no flights were delayed. Firefighters are making progress on the fire in La Cresta and Murrieta. It's holding steady at about 2,000 acres burned, and it's now 56% contained. That's new this hour. All mandatory evacuation orders were lifted. Firefighters say they hope to have the fire fully contained by Tuesday. The cause is still under investigation. And a wildfire burning in Northern California prompted authorities to issue mandatory and voluntary evacuation orders there. Right now, the so-called Red Bank fire has burned more than 8,000 acres. It is 20% contained right now. According to CAL FIRE, this one was sparked by a lightning strike on Thursday. The sister of Clipper star and former Aztec Kawhi Leonard is one of the people accused of murdering an 84-year-old woman. Authorities say Kamisha Williams and another woman broke the victim's skull, stole her purse at the Pachanga casino late last month. The victim died this past Wednesday. Williams and the other suspect are being held without bail right now. Federal and state health officials are warning the public to stop using e-cigarettes. This comes as the CDC is investigating a major outbreak of vaping-related illnesses. So far, there have been 450 cases across 33 states. The number of vaping-related deaths has risen to at least 5. The government says many of the patients reported recently using cartridges containing THC, and the Union Tribune reports 11 people in San Diego have been recently hospitalized from cannabis e-cigarettes. All of them were purchased from unlicensed pop-up shops or on the internet where products are not lab tested. A Facebook post calling on people to storm Area 51 in search of aliens, creating a huge response online. Well, now authorities are wondering how many people will actually show up in the Nevada desert later this month. CNN's Nick Watt has the ways the town is getting ready.
Storm Area 51, read Matty Roberts' Facebook post. They can't stop all of us.
It was completely intended to be a joke. I didn't expect it to go anywhere.
But it has.
It has. It's gone everywhere.
2 million people now claim they're coming here September 20th. One recent online survey found 54% of Americans believe the government knows more than they're telling us.
That's very apparent by my post. Everybody thinks there's something in there.
Here's issue number 1. Nearest civilization is Rachel, Nevada. Population 52. Little more than the Little Ailey Inn. Restaurant seating for 40. 10 bedrooms.
Part of you must be thinking, okay, this is going to be great for business.
Absolutely.
And part is like...
Terrified.
She's scrambling to arrange enough food, security, and free water for the desert heat. Issue number 2, an Air Force spokesperson tells CNN any attempt to illegally access military installations or military training areas is dangerous.
And you don't want your parents to have to bury you. Well, I shouldn't have said that.
That is a gate into Area 51. Plenty of warning signs, plenty of cameras that are following every single move we make. And we were here less than 5 minutes and a white pickup truck did just appear as if out of nowhere. As close as I ever need to get to Area 51, I think. Roberts says the FBI has already come a-calling.
They knocked on the door, man. They just kind of sat down and chatted with me for a little bit just to see what kind of guy I was, making sure I'm not building pipe bombs in the living room or something.
They're now trying to turn this into more of a music festival.
I'm trying to advocate against the storming as much as I can. I just want a gathering of all these weirdos in the desert.
The CIA tested the U-2 spy plane here back in the 1950s, and many believers believe they also keep captured alien life forms and reverse engineer downed alien craft, starting with the Roswell wreckage in the 40s. Conspiracy theories fueled by this base worker interviewed back in '89.
The power source is an antimatter reactor.
And suspicious sightings ever since.
I've seen a lot of strange things in the sky that you can't really identify.
The Air Force claims these 60 secretive square miles are used for Earthling aircraft testing. That's it. This esteemed astronomer agrees.
So clearly, there are aliens out there. I think that's a pretty strong argument. But we don't have the proof of that, and I don't think that it's stacked up in southern Nevada. Honestly, I don't.
Robert's best estimate, 20,000 people will actually show up here. Some hoping to find out if there's really anything in there. All dreaming there really is something out there.
That was Nick Watt reporting. It's 8:07 now, and dozens of furry friends are heading to the beach to hit the waves today. The annual Surf Dog Surfathon is kicking off at Del Mar Dog Beach this morning. That's where we find 10 News reporter Natay Holmes, who is out there, been there throughout the morning. Now we're starting to see the dogs show up, getting ready to hit the surf.
Oh, and I can tell you, Mary, the dogs right behind me, you can see them lined up. You have their dog owners, and we have the dogs out here. These are the pros out here. They have the full setup going on, ready for the big event today. We also see Faith out here taking some great little pictures with her owner, James, out here. We spoke to them earlier in the 6:30 hour, but you can see full setup out here this morning in Del Mar. Just a great day to have the competition. And joining me this morning is Fernanda. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Well, thank you for being out here early this morning. It's just you're with the Helen Woodward Animal Center, and all of the proceeds go towards the center. Just kind of tell us, though, how excited are you guys to have the event again this year?
Absolutely. This is our 14th annual Surf Dog Surfathon presented by Blue Buffalo, and we're just so excited. It's the best day of the year, in my opinion. You see all these amazing surfing dogs with their parents, and it's really just a bonding experience between the two. How can you come out here and not smile and see all these amazing dogs show off what they can do? A lot of them are rescue dogs, some of them even from Helen Woodward, and we're just so grateful for them participating. And like you said, 100% of the proceeds benefit orphan pets.
Awesome. And so we were talking a little bit off camera, but this event gets bigger and bigger every year. How many pets do we expect to be out in the water today?
Absolutely. We're so grateful for the how it's grown out here at Del Mar, but we can expect over 70 surfing dogs out here competing in 5 different weight categories, and then at the end of the day they'll compete in Best in Surf, where the top surf dog from each category will compete for that prestigious title. They'll also have a costume contest on the stage and a freestyle surfing competition where they can show off some of their other skills like tandem rides with other dogs or their parents. So it's such a wonderful, fun event out here. We're just so grateful for everyone who participates, from our vendors to all of the surf dogs and everyone who just comes out and watches. It's an amazing thing to see, really.
Awesome. And even if folks do not come out and surf, or your dogs don't come out and surf, you can still just come out and have a great time at the event. All you have to do is just come on down. It's totally free. Live in Del Mar. Come on down. This is Natay Holmes, 10 News.
Now, 10 News Pinpoint Weather, sponsored by Mozzie Heating, Air and Solar, voted Best Heating and Air Company 2 years in a row.
So fun to see Natay out there. So fun to watch dog videos with
Yes.
Megan Perry, incidentally. Natay did not get her ears washed in this hit. If you were with us at 6 o'clock, you got to see our guest.
We should have recued that interview. Just that dog, just lick, lick, lick. So cute. Oh,
Really cute.
And I was just saying that I love the life vest with the little handle.
Yeah.
Just let me just pop you out of the water there. So easy. All right, it is going to be a nice day at Del Mar and for the entire county today. Much cooler than it has been. The clouds are quickly eroding from Otay Mountain as we look towards Chula Vista. Crystal clear over Mount Laguna. We're at 61 degrees, 69 degrees downtown. downtown, 67 in El Cajon. So temperatures starting off on a cooler note this morning. In fact, most areas about 2 to 8 degrees cooler than just 24 hours ago. This afternoon, high temperatures will top off about 4 to 11 degrees cooler than yesterday. Most inland neighborhoods will be about 9 to 11 degrees cooler. Temperatures actually below normal for this time of the year. Still pretty gusty in our mountains. A wind advisory just expired for our mountain and desert areas, but still seeing those sustained winds at 20 miles per hour in Julian, and those winds will taper off into the afternoon. Still pretty breezy. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see occasional gusts up to about 25 miles per hour this afternoon. So we have one storm system coming through and then another one right behind it that is ushering in the cooler and drier air, and then also those gusty westerly winds. We'll see those winds pick up again as we head into our work week, and the cool and dry air, it's going to be sticking around. It is going to be warming up by the weekend, but not like what we were just dealing with last week. Temperatures for the coast this week in the low to mid 70s. Overnight temperatures also getting cooler into the low 60s by midweek. Inland neighborhoods temperatures will drop to the 70s by Tuesday. Normal for this time of the year is about 87 degrees. So we're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than that. Low 60s at night. Those 90s, they're not far behind though. They're coming in Friday and Saturday. The mountain areas in the 70s through Thursday, and a couple of days in the 90s for our deserts Tuesday and Wednesday. Mary?
Thank you, Megan. One of the jurors from the ghost ship trial talking to reporters, sharing why he's still grappling with a controversial verdict in that case, what he said about the deliberations and the woman responsible for the hung jury.
A woman in Scripps Ranch said she's had problems with her Samsung refrigerator, and it started shortly after she bought it. And she's not the only one. Coming up on 10 News, I'll show you how widespread customers say the problem is.